Hello and welcome to a fresh episode of Enterprise Friday. This is a day we are especially excited to be in your space. The happy ones sometimes call it Friday. I'm Chinyere, Igwe, Odo, and Henry is here. Henry, how are you doing?
Good morning to you and welcome to Enterprise Friday today. Good morning.
Good morning,
Chinyere.
Henry. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday?
Yes, Friday.
So what's Happy Friday?
Well, for me, Fridays comes naturally because it's a day when you just let down your guard and, try to relax. But sometimes broadcasters would argue that because they work Monday through Monday, right?
Okay, so when you are excessively happy, you say Friday than Friday.
Well, I think that's the narrative.
Okay, if that's the case, Happy Friday.
Yes, Happy Friday.
Welcome to Enterprise Friday today.
All right. In the meantime, you may visit our page on YouTube and across all social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7 and like, comment, and subscribe. You may also visit our website at www.enterprisetvnews.com. Today on the program, our guest is Barrister Ofeli. It's a household name and needs no further introduction. Good morning, sir. Welcome to the show.
Good morning and welcome.
All right, let's head straight to the papers and see what the headlines are saying. We'll begin with the Guardian newspaper, Henry.
All right, so we have the banner headline here saying legacy of international tourney, how hosting mega events have failed to catalyze infrastructural development.
All right, just below the big story there, we have slain soldiers, arms, ammunition in Okwama, still missing, military says.
And we equally have electricity tariff hike in crosshair as opposition intensifies.
All right, also on The Guardian, Tinubu task ECOWAS Parliament of Unity backs direct election.
And finally, for a story on The Guardian newspaper, we have EFCC to arraign Bobrisky for 180.7 million Naira money laundering.
Unfortunately, that story is what we are looking at this morning on the newspaper review segment. And to do justice to that is Barrister Evans Ofeli. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
All right. The social media has been agog since yesterday, when the story of Bobrisky being arrested broke. And then it reminds me of what happened in February when one actress was also arrested for for Naira mutilation. But the question I'd love to broach is, what is the NOA doing in terms of educating the public as to what government policies are in this regard?
Well, the National Orientation Agency did a little of it at the time when the law was promulgated. The law had been there, and the CBN Act also had provision for that our national currency be protected from mutilation and defacing, because people have handled the Naira. I remember in the late 90s, there was also a promotion then when they used some of the characters of New Masquerade, Zebediah, Gringori, and the rest of them. So, in that promotion, you have a video clip of some persons, when they finish eating, they take the Naira to clean their hands and all that. So, for some time, there have been a campaign on the fact that this is wrong. In some countries, they made the use of wallets compulsory for all citizens. The purpose is to keep the notes clean and as safe as possible. So in Nigeria, there is this avalanche of show-off on social media when people go to occasions. They want the society to know that they have arrived. Okay, I mean, they have all the money in the world, so they keep spraying money. In comedy shows, you see people spraying the Naira, even the dollars. They spray, and they step on the already sprayed ones, just to make a show off. In this case, the EFCC is taking Bobrisky as a scapegoat. And arresting him is particularly significant.
Okay.
Because if the EFCC had arrested someone who's not popular, it will not trend. But this one is watered down, it's taking the message really down home. Because it's someone that is popular and controversial. So the arrest is strategic. I disagree with people who are saying, why should it be Bobrisky? What about the politicians? Most politicians are not as popular as Bobrisky. So don't be surprised in some of the small villages around Nigeria, they'll be discussing this.
Definitely.
Even though not online or on air, but the conversation has trickled down. This is better than even arresting a senator.
Really?
Okay, yes, in a way. If you arrest a senator, there are many. It's only people who are very informed and in some major cities that actually discuss these politicians. If you go deep into this corner of villages and all that, nobody really know them. People don't know them as much as they know the celebrities. So I think this is strategic and this is more overwhelming, and this will go far. Now for the law, Section 20, 22 and 23 of the CBN Act have made express provision as to the fact that first, Naira mutilation is an offense. That if you spray it, hawk it, step on it, use it in ways other than transaction, is an offense. Okay? And the penalty for this offense is 6 months imprisonment with an option of fine of 50,000 naira or both. You understand? So in this case, the EFCC in prosecuting Bobrisky will have to prove when the action happened, where, how, and the defendant must be linked to the offense unequivocally. There must be a nexus. The fact that EFCC have arrested does not mean they will get conviction.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, it doesn't mean they will get conviction. The court does not care who is arrested or who is not arrested. The court does not care who is mutilating the Naira or who is not mutilating the Naira. What the court is interested in is if you have brought somebody upon an allegation. That's the only thing the court is interested in. You have brought somebody upon an allegation. Prove that allegation.
Oh, okay.
He that has sat must prove. It does not matter whether Bobrisky has spread money before anywhere. The court does not want to know. The court might even have a newspaper saying or a video saying Bobrisky is spraying money. Does not concern the court.
Okay.
You will bring the evidence to the court and prove that evidence. And you will prove the evidence on the strength of it and not on the weakness of the defendant's case. It's only then and then that you can have conviction.
All right, that's very interesting. Now let's move on to this issue, and I would love you to help us make sense. In comparison, actually, police ignore court order on remand of a Lagos businessman. And if you may, I would love you to make a comparison to what we see in Nigeria, especially the relationship between the police force and the judicial system in Nigeria. Is this a case of what is often in vernacular saying, see finish on the part of the judiciary? Please do make a good comparison with what we see in Nigeria and other parts of the Western world.
If the police or any person in Nigeria violates court order, there's a process. You start up a process thereafter. You bring an action for contempt. Okay? Contempt of court is that you file that action and the adverse party is served and summoned to come and show cause why it should not be committed to prison. It's not enough for people to just disregard court order and you just go on media and newspaper and start saying, they've disobeyed court order. You are even complicating the matter. When they disobey court order, there is a mechanism in law that you use to compel the person and have him committed to prison. So that is what they are supposed to do against the police. To have the IG of police committed to prison, or to come to court to come and show cause why he should not be committed to prison. You know, recently, Bawa, there was, before his, before his case, before he was indicted of corruption, that was the former EFCC boss. Yeah. There's a contempt proceeding was filed to have him committed to prison. You know that?
Yeah.
The IG before this one, a contempt proceeding was filed against him to commit him to prison. And they were all in court to show cause. So if you don't act on the law will not enforce itself.
Right.
You have to act.
All right. Thank you so much, Barrister Ofeli. Let's now look at what the Punch has for us this morning. I'll take this story that we have on the nameplate. 12 states plan power projects, anger spreads over tariff hike.
And also we have on the top strip of the same newspaper, manufacturers lose 1.5 trillion naira to FX crisis in 6 months, and then coming from the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria.
All right, just about the nameplate, 141 terror cases, 214 kidnapping recorded in 8 weeks, and this is credited to the IG.
And also we have on the bottom strip of the same newspaper, Gani Adams already for Iboko's 500 million naira legal battle, and that's coming from his aid.
All right, finally on the Punch, EFCC stopped service of charges on Binance chief, FIRS alleges.
I think it's important we take a look at this Binance case. We have image of one of the executive of the Binance being taken to court. And the question is, how do you think this case would go, and especially not having the other person?
No, they were all billed to be in court on the 4th. That's yesterday. All of them were billed to be in court on that 4th before the disappearance of one of them. One of the executives that left. So the case will commence, will continue. Criminal prosecution is not joint. Criminal prosecution is not, let me put it this way. Everyone is responsible for the charge preferred against him. If there is an allegation that 3 persons committed an offense, the charge sheet is read to them according to their level of commitment.
Individually?
Yes.
Okay.
As it is reviewed by investigation. You understand? If one person commits an offense and the other 3 of them committed the same offense, and one is in court giving confessional statement and say, yes, I committed the offense, yes, this man committed the offense, yes, this one committed the offense, the court will shut its eye against his allegation of those 2. The court, yes, the court does the criminal prosecution, criminal liability is personal. Say your own, what you committed, don't go beyond that. Except the court want to use you as prosecution witness. There are cases where 10 people commit an offense. One person is picked among them as a witness of the prosecution. He is freed to ensure that he inculpates the others. I don't know what I'm saying. He is free to ensure that he inculpates the others. He's used as prosecution witness. It's done in law. 10 persons committing an offense. One person seems to be sincere about the fact. Yes. He's taken as prosecution witness. They use his testimony to prosecute others, and he's freed.
Wow.
Yes, so it's done like that too. But the case must be such that warrants that. You understand?
Okay.
So, are you touching on the 12 states coming together for electricity? It's very important.
Yeah, very true. So you can equally take a go at that.
Yes, I said it before, at the beginning of the week, that the federal government had already signed off the law that states can now generate electricity. You understand? So what is going on with the discos and GENCOs should spur that action. And I'm happy that 12 states are coming together to do something. Remember, I said that it is a legal framework that the state need to come up with.
Okay.
So the law have already deregulated generation and distribution. So if 12 states are coming together to generate or to do whatever, the laws are open and clear for them to do so. If one state want to generate or do whatever distribute, the laws, there is no restriction as to whether 2 states cannot partner in power generation. The law just gave out the fact that you can now go ahead and you now have the authority to do so. Now, it is even better if you have 12 states, 5 states coming together, or 4 states coming together. It will make it faster. So that is the way to go, because the law had already broken the monopoly. So this thing that we're doing, that people are now classified on A, B ranking, or the power holdings will tell you, today it is 66 naira. From 66 naira, it jumps to 200 No, from is it 16 naira?
From 68 naira to
From
200.
It's from 16 naira to 200.
Yes.
You understand? That kind of increment calls for a need to break this monopoly. Otherwise, we may wake up one day, maybe next month, and they will tell us that it's now 5,000 naira. I'm telling you, yeah, because they are the only ones in the market. Nobody is. So if they want to, if they decide that they want to get their profit overnight, they move on and start increasing and all that. And the NRC, which is supposed to be, is it the NRC they call it? Yes. NRC, the Nigerian Regulation. NERC, yes. That's supposed to be the regulatory authority. Have not spoken. Have you gotten any report from them? Do you have any report?
No.
So, why have they not spoken about it? They are the regulatory authority. So, they should speak to Nigerians about it. I know that most times their function is always that they wait for a complaint or a petition. Yes, they wait for you to petition or to complain, then they deal with the matter. But I think that they, as a regulatory authority, should be issuing statements just like NCE.
Yeah.
They should be issuing statements so that we know where they stand in the whole thing.
All right. Right, let's now move on to the Daily Trust newspaper, which is the final one we're taking today on the newspaper review segment. And this is the Daily Trust. The big story here reads, Bandits kill 7, abduct 13 family members in Kaduna FCT.
And also, let's go international for a bit. And on the top strip of the same newspaper, U.S. Muslim leaders reject iftar dinner with Biden as anger over Gaza persists.
Still on the top strip, we have Northern elders chide Tinubu over electricity tariff hike.
And on the bottom strip of the same newspaper, we have a Kanu files 8-count charge against Ganduje, wife, and others.
All right, let's just look at the big story this morning. Bandits kill 7, abduct 13 family members in Kaduna FCT. And this begs for a lot of questions, Barrister Evans. The distemper within the polity about the frequency of insecurity is quite alarming. We've had conversations on this program, and we've talked about government's inadequacy in terms of stemming insecurity. We talked about the use of AI, the use of employing foreign aids to ensure that insecurity is nipped in the bud. Do you have any worry that this may cause some sort of state implosion?
It's already in that adjective you just used to qualify. Lately, Kaduna and Plateau states have been so hit in such a way that my heart goes to those communities where people are being raided and killed indiscriminately. You see, now I don't want to keep talking about the federal government on this issue. The bandits and criminals have carried out enough attack in the states for the state governor to know that, as the chief security officer of the state, to know the pattern. Yes. And why the state police issue is pending. They should create the security or vigilante, whatever it is, pending when they resolve the issue of the state should brace up with this thing. It's not enough to just talk about IGR and local government funding, my security vote, my this and my that, and the governors are doing nothing at all about these attacks. There was time Naira said that he was going to give them money for them to stop attacking. That is you empowering them to get more arms, to attack more. You understand? So right now, if we can call the federal government from now to tomorrow, the federal government will say that they cannot handle it. They are overstretched. It's not a conventional war. This is why. So why can't the state governors go to those communities, recruit some persons who can at least give us, if not total resistance, they could alert, they could just gather intelligence to prevent the attackers in one way or the other. Overrun them or dilute their strategy, or just because as you speak now, those villages don't really have, apart from the local vigilante that the traditional rulers create, which they don't really have the manpower and the strength to do. The governors are just not ready for that, and they get security votes. Why can't a governor, for example, even get? There's no law that says they cannot get emissaries. There's no law that says they cannot get experts to see what they can do about insecurity. But they are not doing all that. I mean, so maybe because in Kaduna, it's not the capital city they are hitting. They are hitting the remote areas. Maybe that's why. If the criminals get into the main city, I think the governors will begin to think.
Everyone.
They will begin to think. They are not thinking.
Very true. All right, so that's just about the time we have for our newspaper reviews today. We'd love to say a big thank you to Barrister Vansu for being part of our show
Thank
today.
you very much, sir.
It was indeed an engaging and interesting discussion also. So, when we return, do not take my simplicity for weakness. Governor Fubara finally shows readiness to do battle with Wike. That's in a bit when we come back, please don't go.